Take a deep breath and step back into 1975. We all remember the spunky girls and their fiercely independent mother, but you won't recognize them now. The years have rewritten their stories in ways we never expected. Behind the iconic smiles lies a history of triumph, tragedy, and the harsh passage of time. See the shocking transformation of the legendary cast that taught us to take life one day at a time. Valerie Bertinelli as Barbara Cooper, born on April 23, 1960, in Wilmington, Delaware. The young actress was cast in the groundbreaking sitcom One Day at a Time, shortly after beginning her career in commercials. At the age of 15, Bertinelli's portrayal of Barbara Cooper, the wholesome, level-headed younger daughter of a divorced mother, cemented her status as America's sweetheart. The show was a massive cultural success, tackling the realities of a single-parent household with a mix of humor and drama, and Barbara became the idealized good girl who balanced out the rebellious nature of her on-screen sister. Her performance earned her 2 Golden Globe Awards and made her a defining teen idol of the late 1970s and early 1980s. While Barbara Cooper was the picture of stability and innocence, Valerie Bertinelli's reality behind the scenes was far more complex. She felt an immense pressure to maintain a perfect public image, which stood in stark contrast to her internal battles. Bertinelli struggled deeply with body image issues and weight fluctuations exacerbated by the industry's scrutiny, and later admitted to using cocaine to suppress her appetite and fit in with the rock and roll lifestyle she encountered through her marriage to Eddie Van Halen. Professionally, she fought to break free from the sitcom kid typecast, fearing she would never be taken seriously as an adult actress, while also navigating the emotional toll of working on a set frequently disrupted by the addiction struggles of her co-stars. Valerie Bertinelli successfully transitioned into a multifaceted career, starring in the hit sitcom Hot in Cleveland, and reinventing herself as a Food Network personality and best-selling author. Her personal life, including her marriage to rock icon Eddie Van Halen and their son Wolfgang, remained a subject of public fascination, as did her candid openness about her emotional health and body acceptance. As of 2026, at the age of 65, she is active in the culinary and literary worlds, continuing to connect with fans through her vulnerable memoirs and social media presence, having moved on from a surprising departure from the Food Network in 2024 to focus on personal wellness and new creative ventures. Mark Hamill as Harvey Schneider. Born on September 25, 1951, the Oakland, California native secured this recurring role just before his career was launched into the stratosphere. At the age of 24, Hamill's portrayal of Harvey Schneider, the conniving, scruffy, and humorous nephew of the building's superintendent, provided a comedic foil to the Cooper family. While he only appeared in a handful of episodes, his performance showcased a natural comedic timing and boyish charisma that made the character a memorable if somewhat pestilent presence in the show's early run. This role served as one of his final normal acting gigs, standing as a time capsule of his talent before he became one of the most recognizable faces on the planet. In stark contrast to Harvey Schneider, who was depicted as a petty schemer, always looking for a shortcut, Mark Hamill was a dedicated craftsman deeply committed to the art of acting. His professional journey was soon defined by a struggle few actors ever face: the overwhelming burden of iconic success. Shortly after his stint on the sitcom, the release of Star Wars led to severe typecasting, making it incredibly difficult for him to be seen as anything other than the farm boy Luke Skywalker. Throughout the 1980s, Hamill struggled to find on-screen work that allowed him to break this mold. He also faced personal hardship in 1977, following a serious car accident that resulted in facial reconstruction, an event that led to intense media scrutiny and forced him to adjust to a changing physical appearance while trying to sustain a career in a superficial industry. Mark Hamill eventually transcended his typecasting, by reinventing himself as one of the most prolific and acclaimed voice actors in history, most notably defining the role of the Joker in Batman the Animated Series. Unlike the chaotic personal lives of many peers, he has enjoyed a stable family life, having been married to Marilu York since 1978, with whom he has 3 children. As of 2026, at the age of 74, he is a revered Hollywood icon who remains highly active, recently appearing in projects like The Fall of the House of Usher and continuing his legendary voice work. He stands as a testament to career longevity, having successfully navigated the transition from a sitcom guest star and sci-fi hero to a respected elder statesman of the entertainment industry. Mackenzie Phillips as Julie Cooper. Born on November 10, 1959, in Alexandria, Virginia, the daughter of the Mamas and the Papas founder John Phillips rose to stardom rapidly. At the age of 16, Phillips began her portrayal of Julie Cooper, the rebellious and outspoken teenage daughter in the groundbreaking sitcom One Day at a Time. Her character became a cultural touchstone for 1970s youth, offering a realistic and often gritty depiction of adolescence in a single-parent household that resonated with millions of viewers and solidified the show's massive success. While Julie Cooper's rebellion was scripted and resolved within a 30-minute episode, Mackenzie Phillips's real-life struggles were far more chaotic and dangerous. There was a tragic contrast between the manageable teen angst she played on screen and the severe substance abuse issues she battled off-camera. These personal demons heavily impacted her professional trajectory, leading to visible weight loss and erratic behavior on set. Consequently, she faced the professional devastation of being fired from the hit series twice, first in 1980, and after a brief return permanently in 1983, incidents that played out publicly and stalled her acting career for years. Mackenzie Phillips eventually found a path to redemption, transitioning from a troubled star to a certified substance abuse counselor and vocal advocate for recovery. She returned to acting with recurring roles on the Disney Channel series So Weird and later on Orange is the New Black, and she even made a cameo in the 2017 reboot of One Day at a Time. She also authored a memoir in 2009 that exposed the deep trauma of her upbringing, reshaping her public narrative from one of scandal to one of survival. As of 2026, at the age of 66, she is living a sober life, continuing to work in the entertainment industry while dedicating time to helping others overcome addiction at the Breathe Life Healing Centers. Pat Harrington Jr. as Dwayne Schneider. Born on August 13, 1929 in New York City, the actor initially pursued a master's degree in political philosophy before turning his attention to entertainment. At the age of 46, Harrington stepped into the role of Dwayne Schneider, the cocky, tool belt-wearing building superintendent on One Day at a Time. Originally intended to be a minor recurring character, his portrayal of the denim-vested ladies' man was so charismatic and popular that he became a central fixture of the series. His performance earned him an Emmy Award and turned Schneider into a cultural phenomenon representing the quintessential, albeit overly confident, blue-collar handyman of the 1970s and 80s. The contrast between the actor and the character was stark. While Schneider was a wisecracking, working-class, average Joe, Harrington was a highly educated intellectual and a former Air Force intelligence officer who was fluent in French. Despite his sophisticated real-life persona, he was so convincing as the swaggering superintendent that he faced significant typecasting hurdles once the series concluded. Like many sitcom stars of his era, Harrington struggled to find roles that allowed him to break free from the Schneider image, leading to a career in later years that focused heavily on voiceover work rather than on-screen leading roles. Pat Harrington Jr. continued to work sporadically in television, making guest appearances on shows such as The King of Queens and Hot in Cleveland. and notably reprised his role in a One Day at a Time reunion special. However, his health began to decline in his final years due to a battle with Alzheimer's disease. He passed away in Los Angeles on January 6, 2016, at the age of 86, following a fall and complications related to his condition. His death was mourned by his former castmates, particularly Valerie Bertinelli, who paid touching tributes to the man who had been the comedic anchor of their long-running show. Bonnie Franklin as Anne Romano. Born on January 6, 1944 in Santa Monica, California, the energetic actress stepped into the spotlight as the central figure of the groundbreaking sitcom One Day at a Time. At the age of 31, Franklin's portrayal of Anne Romano resonated deeply with American audiences, marking a significant cultural shift by presenting a realistic divorced mother raising two teenage daughters on her own rather than a widow. For 9 seasons, her character became a symbol of the independent modern woman tackling serious social issues with a mix of tenacity and humor that made the show a consistent ratings hit. While Anne Romano was often depicted as frantic and overwhelmed by the challenges of single parenthood, Bonnie Franklin was a disciplined and assertive professional with a rigorous background in Broadway song and dance. This drive sometimes led to friction behind the scenes as she fought tirelessly to ensure the scripts remained realistic and respectful to women, often clashing with the show's creators to maintain the character's integrity. Following the series' conclusion in 1984, Franklin faced the inevitable struggle of being typecast. The industry viewed her so strongly as the iconic Indianapolis mother that securing diverse on-screen roles became a challenge, leading her to shift her focus toward regional theater and directing. Bonnie Franklin remained active in the entertainment industry, largely pivoting to directing episodes for sitcoms like The Munsters Today and returning to her roots in live theater. In 2011, she reunited with her One Day at a Time co-star Valerie Bertinelli for a guest arc on Hot in Cleveland, and in 2012 she appeared on The Young and the Restless. Franklin passed away at her home in Los Angeles on March 1, 2013, at the age of 69, due to complications from pancreatic cancer. Her death was deeply mourned by her television daughters Mackenzie Phillips and Valerie Bertinelli, who had remained close to her, honoring her legacy as a pioneering figure for women on television. Nanette Fabray as Catherine Romano. Born on October 27, 1920, the San Diego native was already a decorated Tony Award winner and musical comedy star before joining the cast of One Day at a Time. At the age of 59, Fabray's portrayal of Catherine Romano, the energetic, meddling yet loving mother of Anne Romano, added a fresh comedic dynamic to the long-running sitcom. Her character became a fan favorite for her ability to deliver sharp intergenerational critiques while maintaining a warmth that grounded the family, effectively representing the vibrant potential of senior women on television during the late 70s and early 80s. While Catherine Romano was often depicted as overbearing and critical of her daughter's modern lifestyle, Nanette Fabray was known for her effervescent charm and was a tireless humanitarian, contrasting sharply with her character's judgmental streak. Behind the scenes, she faced a profound personal and professional struggle. She suffered from significant hearing loss, a condition that made performing incredibly difficult and required her to rely on visual cues rather than auditory ones to catch her lines. Her career was also marked by the typical instabilities of Hollywood. Despite her immense talent, she faced the disappointment of early show cancellations, such as her own sitcom Westinghouse Playhouse in the 1960s, and had to fight to avoid being typecast solely as a sketch partner from her famous Sid Caesar days. Nanette Fabray remained a spirited presence in Hollywood, continuing to work in television with guest spots on series like Coach and The Golden Palace, while dedicating herself to advocating for the deaf and hard of hearing. She was the aunt of The Donna Reed Show star Shelley Fabares and maintained a legacy of resilience throughout her later years. Fabray passed away at her home in Palos Verdes Estates, California, on February 22, 2018, at the age of 97 from natural causes. Her death was mourned by the entertainment community and disability advocates alike, cementing her status as a pioneer who transcended her physical challenges to entertain millions. Glenn Scarpelli as Alex Handress. Born on July 6, 1966, in Staten Island, New York, the son of a famous Archie comics artist, he was raised in a creative environment before landing his breakout television role. At the age of 14, Scarpelli joined the cast of the long-running sitcom One Day at a Time as Alex Handress, the son of Ann Romano's boyfriend, Nick. His arrival injected a youthful energy into the later seasons of the series, instantly transforming him into a massive teen idol. His feathered hair and charming demeanor landed him on the covers of magazines like Tiger Beat and 16 magazine, and his cultural impact was significant enough to launch a pop music career, solidifying his status as a quintessential 1980s heartthrob. Despite the public persona of a girl-crazy teenager, Scarpelli lived with a profound internal contrast. He was a gay youth navigating a Hollywood era where coming out was widely viewed as career suicide. This pressure to maintain a heteronormative pin-up image while hiding his true self created a significant personal struggle behind the scenes. Professionally, he faced the volatility of the industry when he left the security of the hit sitcom to star in his own vehicle, Jennifer Slept Here, in 1983. The show was canceled after only one season, a professional blow that was compounded by the difficulty of shedding the teen idol typecast, eventually leading him to step away from mainstream acting. Glenn Scarpelli eventually reinvented his life, far removed from the Hollywood spotlight, finding sanctuary and success in Sedona, Arizona. He transitioned from actor to entrepreneur, founding the Sedona Now TV network and serving as its CEO, while also embracing his personal truth as an out-and-proud gay man. He has remained connected to his roots, occasionally participating in cast reunions and conventions, but largely focuses on his local media empire. As of 2026, at the age of 59, he is an active business leader and producer, living a fulfilling life that balances his past fame with his enduring success as a media executive in the Southwest. Boyd Gaines as Mark Royer. Born on May 11, 1953, the Atlanta, Georgia native joined the cast of the long-running sitcom during its later years to inject a sense of stability into the storyline. At the age of 28, Gaines entered the show as Mark Royer, the sensible dental student who would eventually marry Barbara Cooper. His portrayal offered a grounding presence against the show's chaotic energy, quickly establishing him as a heartthrob who represented the ideal nice guy partner. His character's marriage to Barbara was a major ratings draw, serving as a cultural milestone for the series as it transitioned the younger generation into adulthood. Despite Mark Royer's reputation as a simple, mild-mannered, and somewhat plain character, Boyd Gaines was a fiercely talented Juilliard-trained actor with a dynamic range that far exceeded the limitations of the sitcom format. This created a professional struggle as the industry initially tried to pigeonhole him into bland boyfriend roles, ignoring his theatrical prowess. Following the cancellation of One Day at a Time in 1984, Gaines faced the harsh volatility of television. He starred in series like The Hopkins and Eisenhower and Lutz, both of which were canceled quickly, leaving him to navigate the frustration of instability and the difficulty of finding screen work that matched his dramatic capabilities. Boyd Gaines eventually pivoted away from the uncertainty of Hollywood to become a titan of the theater, ultimately winning 4 Tony Awards, a feat achieved by very few actors. As of 2026, at the age of 72, he is celebrated as one of the most versatile stage actors of his generation, residing in New York City, with his wife actress Kathleen McNenny. While he largely stepped back from regular television roles to focus on his acclaimed Broadway career and family life, his legacy remains defined by his rare ability to have conquered the highest peaks of American theater after starting as a sitcom supporting player. Michael Lembeck as Max Horvath. Born on June 25, 1948 in Brooklyn, New York, the son of famed actor Harvey Lembeck began his own career following in his father's footsteps. At the age of 31, Lembeck joined the popular sitcom One Day at a Time as Max Horvath, the earnest and slightly goofy graphic designer who won the heart of the eldest daughter, Julie Cooper. His portrayal brought a comedic yet grounding presence to the series during its middle seasons, serving as a stable foil to the often dramatic and high-energy dynamics of the Cooper household. And he quickly became a recognizable face in American living rooms. While Max Horvath was often depicted as a reactive character caught in the family's chaos, Michael Lembeck was highly focused, organized, and possessed a directorial mindset that differed greatly from his happy-go-lucky on-screen persona. His tenure on the show was complicated by the well-documented behind-the-scenes turbulence involving his co-star Mackenzie Phillips. The volatility of the set made for a challenging work environment. Ultimately, the show's internal struggles led to storylines being abruptly altered, and Lembeck found himself written out of the series, facing the sudden unemployment and professional uncertainty that plagues many character actors after a high-profile gig ends. Michael Lembeck successfully pivoted from the instability of acting to a highly lucrative and stable career behind the camera, establishing himself as one of the industry's most sought-after directors. He helmed nearly 24 episodes of the mega-hit Friends and directed feature films such as The Santa Claus 2 and Tooth Fairy. As of 2026, at the age of 77, he is a revered veteran of the Directors Guild of America and continues to reside in Los Angeles with his wife actress Lorna Patterson. He looks back on a career that successfully transitioned from the struggles of an on-camera player to the authority of a top-tier filmmaker. Richard Masur as David Kane. Born on November 20, 1948 in New York City, the Yale Drama School attendee brought a grounded, rugged charm to the role of David Kane, the lawyer boyfriend of divorced mother Anne Romano. At the age of 27, Masur's portrayal became a significant cultural marker, helping to normalize the depiction of a single mother having a serious romantic and sexual life on primetime television. For 2 seasons, his character offered stability and warmth, playing a crucial role in the show's exploration of post-divorce relationships and earning him a place in the hearts of viewers who rooted for the couple's happiness. Despite the on-screen chemistry and the show's massive ratings, Richard Masur found the experience creatively frustrating, viewing his character as one-dimensional compared to his own intellectual and ambitious nature. Unlike the compliant and patient David Kane, Masur was outspoken and deeply concerned with the craft of acting, leading to his decision to walk away from the hit series to avoid being trapped in a boyfriend role that lacked agency. This bold move plunged him into the uncertainty of character acting, where he faced the difficult task of shaking off his sitcom persona to secure dramatic film roles, a professional gamble that risked obscurity in an industry that often punishes actors for leaving successful shows. Richard Masur successfully navigated the transition from sitcom star to respected character actor, appearing in over 80 films, including cult classics like The Thing, Risky Business, and My Girl, while also serving 2 terms as the president of the Screen Actors Guild. He remained a constant presence on television, with recurring roles in acclaimed series such as Transparent, The Good Wife, and Younger, solidifying his reputation as a tireless advocate for actors' rights. As of 2026, at the age of 77, he is an active and revered elder statesman of the industry living in Los Angeles, with his wife Eileen Henry continuing to perform and mentor the next generation of talent. Ron Rifkin as Nick Handress. Born on October 31st, 1939 in New York City, the versatile actor joined the cast of One Day at a Time during its 6th season in 1980. At the age of 41, Rifkin's portrayal of Nick Handress, a charming sports photographer and the serious love interest for Bonnie Franklin's Anne Romano, brought a mature and grounding romantic element to the series. His character became integral to the show's evolution, eventually marrying Anne and offering the promise of a happy ending, which resonated deeply with audiences rooting for the single mother's long-term happiness. Despite the on-screen warmth, Rifkin's time on the show ended in a stark and professional trauma that highlighted the volatility of the entertainment industry. While Nick Handress was a supportive partner, the actor's reality involved a harsh contract dispute. When Rifkin asked for a raise, the producers denied the request and abruptly killed his character off in a car accident caused by a drunk driver. This incident was a professional devastation that led Rifkin to quit acting entirely for several years, during which he retreated to work in his father's coat business, struggling with the disillusionment of being treated as disposable talent. Ron Rifkin eventually returned to the craft to achieve monumental success, far eclipsing his sitcom days with a Tony Award-winning stage career and iconic roles like Arvine Sloane in Alias and Saul Holden in Brothers and Sisters. He has enjoyed a remarkably stable personal life, remaining married to his wife Eva since 1966, a union spanning over 5 decades. As of 2026, at the age of 86, he is a revered elder statesman of the acting community living a quieter life, while occasionally lending his gravitas to select guest roles in high-profile series such as New Amsterdam and The Gossip Girl reboot. Mary Louise Wilson as Ginny Roblicki. Born on November 12, 1931 in New Haven, Connecticut, the seasoned stage actress joined the cast of the groundbreaking sitcom One Day at a Time, shortly after its debut. At the age of 44, Wilson's portrayal of Ginny Roblicki, the Romano family's brassy, outspoken, and comedic cocktail waitress neighbor, became an instant standout. Her distinctive gravelly voice and boisterous laugh provided essential comic relief to the show's often serious storylines, quickly establishing Ginny as a fan favorite who helped cement the series' early success. Despite the character's popularity, the experience was a source of significant creative frustration for Wilson, presenting a stark contrast between her artistic ambitions and her television reality. While Ginny was perceived as somewhat crude and one-dimensional, Wilson was a sophisticated and highly disciplined theater veteran who found the role limiting and unfulfilling. This professional struggle led to a difficult decision. Feeling trapped by a character she felt had no depth, she requested to be released from her contract after only 2 seasons. This departure was a risky move that left her facing the uncertainty of the entertainment industry, trading a steady, high-profile television paycheck for the unpredictability of the stage in an effort to reclaim her artistic integrity. Mary Louise Wilson successfully reinvented her career, becoming a revered figure in the theater world and achieving critical acclaim that far surpassed her television fame. She eventually won a Tony Award for Best Featured Actress in a musical for her role in Grey Gardens, and co-authored and starred in the hit play Full Gallop. She also documented her lengthy career and the ups and downs of an actor's life in her memoir, My First 100 Years in Show Business. As of 2026, at the age of 94, she resides in upstate New York, celebrated as a theater legend and a dedicated teacher of acting, having firmly established a legacy defined by her resilience and mastery of the stage, rather than her brief time in 1970s sitcoms. It is incredible to see how the years have shaped the faces we once knew so well. While the sets are long gone, the impact of their performances continues to inspire new generations of viewers. We owe a debt of gratitude to this cast for teaching us to take life just one day at a time. If you enjoyed this nostalgic reunion, please hit the like button and share this video with a friend who loves classic TV.